Hey guys, happy Saturday to everybody. I am here with little Eloise and I have a topic I want to chat about and I want to change her into an outfit. So, kill two birds with one stone, right? So, I'm going to put her in this cute little jacquardie. It's like a little dress. It's like a little mod 60s style dress with the petal neck with the little hearts on them. It's really pretty. So, and I'm going to pair it with some pink. I don't know my colors today. Some red tights from Jacquardie as well, and then some black Crying Company shoes because the navy blue or the blue Crying Company shoes are just too light for this shade of blue. It's a super dark color. So yeah, I wanted to put this on her and chat with you while I change her. So the topic is that I wanted to chat about is about artists getting upset with collectors who sell their dolls too quickly. And even some collectors seem to get upset with other collectors when they sell their dolls, in their eyes, too quickly. So I find that very interesting because I have actually been at the center of this type of topic before. Not anytime recently because you guys don't see a lot of dolls coming and going from my collection. But back, a couple of years ago, I had a lot of dolls coming in and out. And so if there are any artists out there watching, this will maybe give you some insight into why perhaps we turn our dolls over so quickly sometimes. And I just want to kind of put it out there for everybody and just kind of have a little topic of conversation, I suppose. Because every once in a while I hear different people within the doll community discussing or having some sort of opinion or feeling about it and spinning some sort of negative thing about people that don't hold on to their dolls very long. And so I find that interesting because, and it's also been brought up that the artists have their feelings hurt or they worry why people don't hold on to their dolls for very long. So, good topic to chat about because I totally get artists being like attached to their work and their dolls or whatever, but once it leaves their hands, I feel like they shouldn't worry about what happens to them afterwards or how long a collector has their dolls for, because most of us collectors, and there's so many types of collectors who are they have different goals for their collection. They have different ideas of what they want in their collection. And the newer you are in doll collecting, I have found, the more you're seeking out that perfect doll. Like most of us kind of come into this hobby with some sort of goal in mind. Like from the start of my collecting, more than 20 years ago, my goal has always been to seek out and find the most ultra realistic reborn silicone. It's changed over the years. First it was, a reborn or a one of a kind. Then it even went to, before silicone was ever, like it took a while for silicone was not always been around. So there was other mediums that I looked for, and as my tastes changed, and as new things came out, my goals changed. But the underlying goal of wanting to find the most ultra realistic baby doll totally has always been the same. Like that goal has just been the goal for my collecting. Then it turned into how many dolls do I want to collect and how realistic do I want my nursery to be. It wouldn't be realistic to have 20 dolls sitting in one nursery. And so like different things change as we grow as collectors. But I think for most collectors that are newer in the hobby, they are still learning, figuring out what they really like. And it doesn't matter if it's a high-end doll or an affordable reborn or what have you. The price range doesn't matter. It really has nothing to do with how long someone holds on to a doll. I can tell you that much. It has to do with whether the doll fits all the criteria of what you're looking for. And so if you're still continuing to seek out and you get a doll that might be beautiful, but it's really just not the perfect doll for you, most of us will sell them quite quickly. I don't hold on to dolls. I learned a long time ago that if I get a doll and I don't fall in love with the doll, I never will later on. Like if it doesn't happen instantly, that bond isn't there instantly, it's not going to happen at all. Like it literally is time to just, if the doll doesn't work for me, out the door it goes, which is why a lot of people would see some turnaround coming and going from my nursery 2, 3, 4 years ago. If you go back into my videos, you will see there was a lot of new dolls coming in and out of the nursery. It's also for some collectors that they love the excitement of the box opening too. So that also plays a part in it. So, you know, having something fresh and new that comes into your nursery on a regular basis is exciting. It's part of the fun. And so it really just depends on the collector. But I find that, I don't know whether it's through jealousy or just people being judgmental of other collectors, when there's some sort of negativity and they get deemed a doll flipper. I'm going to air quote doll flipper, because to me it's silly. If you don't like the doll or it just doesn't do it for you, there's no reason to hold on to it just because you don't want to hurt an artist's feelings. I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. It's financially not smart to hold on to something that you don't enjoy, period. It's that simple. And for me, that was really that, it came down to that if I didn't bond with the doll had to go. And it could have been a beautiful doll and it will be perfect for another collector. It just wasn't perfect for me. And I did that with a lot of silicone dolls. I would get a doll in and I would really like the doll, but then I would see something new and I thought maybe I would like it better from a different artist. And this happened a lot with Claire's dolls for me. Like I would get one and then I would see another artist come out with something that looked really great in pictures. I thought, oh gosh, maybe I'll like this better. And also wanting to try out other artists' work. And 9 times out of 10, I was never happier than the doll I had at the time, especially if it was a Claire Taylor's, a silicone doll by her. I even bounced with having several Romy Stridham dolls, and every time I would get one, I would bounce back to craving and wanting to have a Claire Taylor silicone, so the doll would go. And I would bring back yet another Claire Taylor doll. So it's like, for most collectors, it is kind of like that little bit of a vicious cycle of, you know, trying to figure out what you really love. And especially with silicone dolls, and even like with reborns, like they're not cheap. There's no cheap doll in this hobby, let's face it. And most of us have to, you know, sell to bring home something new. That's always how I've done it, is I've always usually sold something to bring something new home. Especially if you're spending more money, you know, I don't have endless funds. I mean, I would love to have endless funds, but let's face it, it's just not generally the case for most of us. But I think artists worry, especially like, we'll use Claire Taylor as an example. She may worry when she sees a high turnover of collectors buying her dolls and then selling them very quickly. But, you know, I'm pretty sure Claire's probably not watching my video, but but if she were, I would tell her, don't worry, we love her work. Her work is fabulous, it's wonderful, it's great, but it comes down to the collector really finding that perfect doll. And especially with these high-end silicones, you don't hold on to one if you don't absolutely love it. It's just too much money to have sitting there and you're not enjoying. Like it would be silly to do that, you know? And I think that that's something that artists have to keep in mind. And like I've always said, guys, there's really no way that everybody's supposed to collect. We collect in all different ways. We collect with however it makes us happy. That's why I don't understand when other collectors start to judge or make nasty comments about, you know, oh, this person's a doll flipper. I think that might be jealousy maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure where that comes from, but I don't understand where the judgmental part comes into play. Why does it matter? When someone turns over a baby, it gives another collector a chance to have that baby. So I think that that's just nature of hobbies. Buying and selling, you know. And there's also been statements said like, oh, people are doll flippers because they're trying to make money off of them. You know, to each their own. I really don't care. People have accused me of making money off my dolls when I sell them. And really, it's nobody's business but the buyer and the seller who gets what for what. It's really what the doll, what someone will pay for the doll. Other than that, it really doesn't matter. And I don't begrudge anybody who might make back their money, their total investment, and maybe even some more if the doll has appreciated in value and it's become more sought after. That's like nature of supply and demand. So to get mad at collectors when that happens, to me, just seems so silly and it makes no sense to me. I think anybody can benefit from, supply and demand in life. I mean, let's face it, the artists are making pretty good money, if not some making really good money on these dolls. And if we're lucky, generally, most of the time, most collectors are lucky to make their investment back. Most of us have taken a loss most of the time when we sell dolls on. But being a doll flipper, I could care less. I don't think other collectors out there should worry about other people selling their dolls quickly. I don't think artists should worry about it. If there was a problem with the doll, I'm sure the collector will share that with the artist. But most of the time it's because the doll wasn't perfect for them. Or they're in that stage of their collecting that they just want to experience more and different dolls. So they, unless they absolutely, absolutely love the doll, they're going to end up selling the doll on. And that just is how it is. I'm willing to state the fact that I know that I'm a finicky collector. I know what I like. When I receive a doll, I know immediately whether I'm going to bond with the doll. I know immediately whether or not it's going to be one that sticks around for a while. I know me. I know exactly what I like. And so I think that as collectors, guys, we need to be aware of the fact that, honestly, we shouldn't judge others for how they collect. And I'm going to pan back. We should just be, happy for one another when we all find our dream babies, if we find them, or just enjoying the journey of all the different kinds of dolls that are out there, because I think that everybody should just enjoy the hobby. It is all about enjoyment, let's face it. Judging others takes away from the fun, and it sure makes for a negative situation when there doesn't need to be one. Just saying, that's my opinion. But I think it's very normal. I think it is very normal for us collectors to part with our dolls on a regular basis, especially as the prices for silicones keep going up and up and up and up and up. Some must be sacrificed and leave the nursery for new ones to come home. That's usually what it's all about. But there's Miss Eloise. How cute does she look in this? This little dress was just a smidge too tight for my liking for Monroe. So for me, I like how this fits her because she's a little bit more, she's small in the body and her limbs are a little bit smaller. So it fits her like it's supposed to. It's supposed to, not be a long dress. It's meant to be a little, like I said, 60s mod style dress. And I love, love, love it. Love it. And if you stuck around to the end of this video, thank you for sticking around, guys. I have some other fun videos coming up. I also want to let you know that I am now on Instagram. I always had an Instagram, but it's always been like my personal Instagram. But now I have a Dolly Instagram, which I will put I'll put a link for it below in the description box. So please check me out over there. I will be posting lots of pictures of the babies there. And also more exciting things I want to share with you in the next couple of videos coming out. So please stay tuned. And we're currently amongst having a major snowstorm. So it's blustering gross outside. So I hope you all have a great day. Stay inside and warm and toasty cozy if you're anywhere in the cold where the weather's hitting you. And we will see you very, very soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.